His name was Ted Swift, and he was a deputy in the LA County Sheriff's Department. In October 1939, um, Ted Swift, I think he'd been out drinking. I don't think it. He'd been out drinking. And he sort of stumbled his way into the Dinner Bell Cafe, which was on Vine Street, just kind of adjacent to the Brown Derby in Hollywood.
Mm.
And he gets in there and he sees two really cute waitresses, and one with Jesse Clark and Clemmy Reeves, and he's like, these two babes are pretty cute. So he makes, kind of a lunch. Well, he's drunk and they don't want any part of it. He thought they might find him irresistible. They did not. And so they just slipped past him. I mean, he was fumbling, he was no, and so he couldn't get his arms around either one of those girls. So he turns his attention because he's just gone. He turns his attention to this guy who's sitting at the counter. The guy's name was Michael Aronson, and he was kind of having an early breakfast, just having a cup of coffee. And for some reason, Ted took an immediate dislike to Aronson's fedora. He was wearing a fedora. Swift suddenly hated it, and he started to verbally abuse this guy. And the man was so startled that he ran out of the cafe. But he hadn't been able to finish his coffee, and he hadn't been able to leave a tip or anything, pay the bill. So he tried to come back into the cafe, and Swift caught a glimpse of that fedora, and he pulled out his revolver. And it's just like, so, but rather than shoot at the fedora, he turned to the counter, which had pies on it, and he fired on like six custard pies, helpless pies. He's firing on pies. And so all this creamy custard is flying all over the place, and he's shooting at them. And when the smoke cleared, he'd like massacred half a dozen innocent pies in this
Like,
in this cafe, and he unloaded this volley of gunfire. The patrons of the cafe like dove under the counter, under the tables to hide. And at this point, a police officer, Monty Sherman, he arrives, and several other squad cars that had detectives and everything else in it. So Ted was shuffled out right away and
yeah,
taken
yeah.
to Hollywood Receiving Hospital, where they determined that yes, indeed, Ted was shit-faced.